Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, you're going to have Callum. Callum is from Scotland. So let's see what Callum has to say. Enjoy the interview. William, yes.
Yeah, nice to meet you, man.
So hello Callum, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
I know, thanks for asking.
So tell me, how's your day going so far?
So I was off work today, so just been chilling.
Yeah.
Uh, did plan to go for a walk, but that never went ahead. Ended up doing some household chores and stuff, out going and shopping, ready for work tomorrow.
And
But yeah,
what do you do for work, for living?
so I'm a barber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got a barber shop called Black Dog Barber in Aberdeen-Scotland.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so the reason we took that shop on was I was working at another barber, and
Mm-hmm.
my dogs were, well, Asha, the black dog, was left at home quite a lot, and I felt quite bad, and I couldn't rehome her, so took the jump and opened a shop in Aberdeen. So
Oh
she comes to
wow.
work every day.
That's amazing. And how long have you been a barber for?
Just over a year now.
Mm-hmm. So walk me through when you had the idea to become a barber.
So it actually started in lockdown. I started cutting my own hair. I posted it on social media. A barber on my page, he had noticed.
Uh-huh.
He then offered me some training. I went there for a year, just under a year, done some training with him. Um, he ended up shutting up shop. I went back to fit in garage doors,
Uh-huh.
and then decided I needed to do something else because I wasn't quite satisfied doing that. So decided to get into barbering. Went to college for a year. So yeah, it would be over a year.
Wow.
Went to college, did the year, got qualified, worked a couple of months at another barber, and then opened my own shop.
Oh wow. You know what? During the COVID, I remember everyone was dying to have a haircut. I remember during that time. And I was telling my friends, I think when the lockdown finished, the barbers and the lawyers are going to become rich because everyone wants to have haircuts and the lawyers need to deal with like relationships, you know what I mean, breakdowns, a lot of things to happen. As a joke.
Yeah, it was a hectic time, was it?
So tell me, and where are you from, Callum?
So I'm from Aberdeenshire, originally a little farming village called Turriff in the
Okay.
northeast of Scotland, but now I
Born and-
stay just outside Aberdeen.
I see. And born and raised over there?
Yeah, Scotland always. Through my childhood, spent a little bit of time in Wales. Some of my family's Welsh, so spent some time in Wales as well.
So tell me, what is the best part of waking up in Scotland every single day?
Of course, the sun. uh, I don't know. Scotland's a really beautiful country. I think
Mm-hmm.
Scotland really is beautiful, and especially sort of the northeast. I think a lot of the people take pride in where they live. So
Yeah,
it's well kept. It's a clean area. So I would say just waking up in a beautiful place.
amazing.
Born in
And so,
Scotland.
your family, they live around the same area as well or not?
Yeah, we're in about 5 to 10 mile radius.
I see. Okay. All right. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your journey so far. Okay.
Yeah, sure, man.
Amazing. My God, where did I put the matchbox? I put down there. Okay, Callum. So before we start our journey within the magic box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Okay, something interesting about myself. That's a tough one, man. What is interesting about myself? I'm a keen hill walker. I've also recently become sort of studying religion and Christianity. So
Okay.
that's been a big thing in my life. That's something that's quite significant to me now.
I see. Oh my God, look your dog. What's their name?
So the black one, she's called Asha. She's 1.5. She's a German Shepherd cross Labrador. Blue is a 7-month-old Rhodesian Ridgeback, and she is the breed originally originates from South Africa. So the breed
Wow.
was to keep lions at bay. So quite a strong, powerful dog.
Wow. Amazing. And that's the only two you have?
Yeah, this is the only two I have, which is enough.
I'm sure take a lot of your time for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Amazing. Callum, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yeah, let's do it.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I have here my best full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question. All right?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? First question for you is, what is your idea of a perfect friendship?
The idea of a perfect friendship for me would be, ultimately that brotherhood, that loyalty, the sort of just the brotherhood bond that I suppose is sort of unspoken. It's
Uh-huh.
it's a strong link of just having a brother arm in arm.
Absolutely. And your best friend lives as well in Aberdeen or not?
To be honest with you, mate, I sort of just run by myself. I sort of focus on business, focus on self-development,
Uh-huh.
work out, and I've got my dogs. So technically for me, my dogs are my best friends, to be honest.
Amazing.
Personally, God is number one for me.
Wow. And when did you start this connection with God? Did something happen in your life or naturally just happened?
So yeah, throughout life, I've had some traumatic events, which have led me to God for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest one was around 2020, and we also had COVID then as well. So that was a big
Yep,
time to self-reflect.
absolutely. Amazing. Okay. Next question, ready?
Go for it.
Let's do it. All right. Next question is, what do you like to cook the most? Do you like cooking?
I love a pesto pasta with
Me
some
too.
steak, pepper, some peas in there. Yeah, pesto pasta.
Callum, when you think about yourself, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being Callum?
I like the freedom that I have. I enjoy the freedom that I have, and I connect with my inner child. So just yesterday we were out for a walk with the dogs, and I was up climbing trees and things, just being at one with nature, sort of having fun. So yeah, just being able to connect with my inner child and just express myself and be me. And nature is another big one for me. I love being in nature. Really immerse myself in nature and on the hills. So yeah.
Wow. And you always have this connection with nature?
Yeah, I mean, my love for dogs as well was since I was a child. I would always go up to the neighbors and go in, and they would invite me in. I'd have a biscuit and a sweet and pet their dogs. And yeah, I've always been really connected. I love animals, I love nature. As I've gotten older now, I sort of respect nature a lot more. I sort of find myself picking up litter now when it's being dropped and it's not mine. So yeah, really got that respect for nature.
Amazing. Great. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, Callum, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a barber? What do you like the most about it? And the flip side, what do you find the most challenging about your career?
So as a barber, I find it great that I can connect with people, and people come with me with important stories or deep personal traumatic events that's went on in their life. A lot of joy, and I suppose being honored enough that people sort of feel safe enough to express their feelings with me in that way But on the, you know, the negative side of that as well is it can be like a heavy burden.
Totally. And when you have those moments when the energy is not the greatest, do you have like a way for you to protect your energy and not to get, affected by the energy that's being, shared with you?
Yeah, so that's actually something that I have learned on this journey of sort of meditating and things is visualizing a shield around myself. That is one of the techniques. Also grounding visually. So grounding from my feet, roots, going into the earth. When I come back from the barber shop, you know, I will ground, I will barefoot, I will go out in nature and I will ground or I'll meditate. So that's sort of the ways I release. And exercise is a big one. I always feel great after going for a jog, you know.
I see. Okay, cool. Next question for you is, describe yourself in 3 words.
I would say patient, calm. I'd say patient, calm, and ambitious.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
I have quite a lot of things I would like to achieve. So, you know, that's where my ambition comes from. The patience comes from a lot of dog training, and the calmness comes from a lot of meditation.
Totally. How often do you meditate?
So I try and meditate. Well, basically, I meditate on a daily basis, whether that being still in my room with a closed eye meditation or a walking meditation.
And do you consider yourself to be more of a day or night person?
Day. I'm an early riser.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like getting up for that sunrise, sorry. But I love a sunset as well.
What is a good time for you to wake up usually?
6. Between 5 or 6, you know, I sort of fluctuate between those times.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Right, Callum. Next question is, do you consider yourself to be a spiritual person, and how?
Yeah, and as well, I think we're all spiritual beings, just in a human vessel, you know. Like again, I think for a lot of people, COVID sort of sparked that awakening for a lot of people. Again, just being sort of self-isolated somewhat and sort of having to self-reflect. And there was not much else to do. So yeah, I would say spiritual being. Also, some of the experiences I've had in life has led me to God. So yeah, definitely a spiritual being.
And what's the most, tell me a lesson that life has taught you that you feel very grateful for?
To trust the process. To trust the process.
And why is that?
Because God has a plan, and God's plan is good. And although times can be hard, it's a lesson. But in the end, there's a blessing.
Totally. I think, you learn a lot through the process, and as you said, I totally agree. Trust the process, because sometimes, some difficult things happen in our lives and you go like, my God, why this is happening? And sometimes you just need to understand that you need to go through that for some reason.
Oh, 100%.
We are learning. It's a learning curve all the time.
All the time. Absolutely all the time.
Amazing. Next question. Ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Next question is, define yourself in a season of the year and why?
Describe myself as a season of the year.
In a season, what's your favorite season of the year?
Oh, what's my favorite season? Oh, that's tough. That is a tough one, because being in Scotland, you get sort of all seasons in one day. But you know what? I really enjoyed the snow we just recently had. I sort of enjoy the sort of winter nights. But I really enjoyed being out on the hills in the snow, it felt like a winter wonderland, and it was just pure peace and bliss. Oh, it was
Wow.
fantastic. So yeah.
Is your birthday around winter time?
My birthday's this month, actually.
This month?
Yeah, man.
Oh, wow. Which day?
20th.
Wow. And do you like celebrating birthdays?
Again, it's just another day for me, man. Yeah, it's not. I'm not sort of a big guy on that, so I'll celebrate other people's birthday. But yeah, it's just another day for me.
And aging for you is something that bothers you, or you just see as a matter of life?
Yeah, I think obviously I want to age the best I can. So obviously being healthy is a big thing. You know, I still want to be able and mobile. I think if you age and you're sort of deteriorating massively, you know, that's when it's like not so enjoyable, you know.
Totally. I agree. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Let's go, man.
Before the next question, of course, we got connected through TikTok, yeah, through social media. So tell me what's your idea about your page? When people connect with you on social media, what's the message behind when people watch your videos?
So yeah, this year I decided to take to content. I felt like in a meditation it was being presented to me. I feel like I've maybe got life experiences that I've went through that I could share, and people could take something away from that. Perhaps add it to their life, or, you know, not feel so, you know, feel like, I think sometimes when life events happen, sometimes people can get wrapped up and feel like they're the only person going through that, or, you know, they don't have someone to connect with that's experienced something like that. So me just expressing my life and sharing my life, hopefully somebody can take a positive away from that, and that's what I hope to do.
Amazing. I can see some tattoos in your arm. Do you have different tattoos?
Yeah, so I've got I started like sort of this religious tattoo sleeve back in my early teens.
Yep.
And this is a sleeve when I went to Southeast Asia.
Wow.
So I went traveling for 4 months and got a tattoo over there, got a sleeve over there.
Oh my God! So you traveled for 4 months?
Yeah, man.
Oh wow, wow! And what was the highlight of your travel?
What was that? Sorry.
What was the highlight of your travel when you were traveling for 4 months?
The highlight, you know what? When I was in Southeast Asia, a lot of people were just so happy and grateful over the smallest things of being with family around the table, and you know, there was so much smiles and that. I feel like we're a bit disassociated from that, and we don't take the small things for granted. You know, we're not grateful for the small things here in the UK.
Totally amazing. Okay, next question is what has been the happiest point of your life so far?
I would say having my daughter, definitely.
Oh yes, I saw the pictures actually with your daughter.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh wow. How old is your daughter?
She's 1. She turned 1 in December. So yeah, that was such a moment of, you know, unconditional love. It was amazing.
What's the biggest joy of being a dad?
Whoa. Providing and protecting, I think. I take great joy in that. And, you know, sort of engaging for that development, you know, helping assist and help her along the way. And yeah.
Wow. And so far, through this year that, you know, she was born, what's the most meaningful lesson you've learned from her so far?
Just to be more open-hearted, have an open heart. You know, something, you know, before I had her, you know, I could be a bit cold, and yeah, so she's definitely brought me more joy and made the world much more brighter, you know.
Wow, sweet, that's for sure. Oh wow, nice one. 2 questions left. Let's do it. You like dancing, Callum?
I do actually. See, when there's a good tune and I get my groove on, you know, I can move. Yeah.
Right. So before the next question, tell me something. You know about your shop as Black Dog Barber. Yeah, the name of your shop. So tell me something unique about you know, your shop. When people they come, some clients they come for haircuts, for barb. What's something different that stands out compared with other barbers around?
I think, to be honest with you, I think when it comes to being a barber, it's not all about the shop and the uniqueness of the shop. Although, you know, because a lot of barbers, we can all take the same thing. You know, I've got sort of a nice environment, calm environment, soft music playing. I've got plants in there. Obviously, I've got the dogs in there, which are quite therapeutic for some people.
Uh-huh.
But there's other barbers that also have dogs. I think once you find your barber, you find your barber. You tend to stick with that person. I think it's solely somebody that has good craft, a good quality of craft and understanding of hair, but also somebody that can hold space for you. You know, it's important to communicate as a barber and not just cut hair. There's more to being a barber than just cutting hair.
Totally. I think barbers they are kind of a therapist as well, because people they share a lot about their lives.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Next question is, tell us a funny story that happened to you when you were a child at school.
Oh, a child at school. Oh.
Did you like school growing up?
Hey, I enjoyed school for the social aspect of it.
Uh-huh.
I was one of those kids that did bunk off quite a lot, you know, would leave early and stuff. So I have many and many stories from being at school, but I'm not sure whether they'll be appropriate for.
Okay. Who was your favorite teacher?
Oh, I don't think I had one, to be honest, mate. I really don't. I don't know, actually, to be fair. I think in primary school, yeah, I had some really quality teachers from primary school. I went to a small school which had like a maximum of 20 pupils at one point. So you really got to connect with the teachers there. So, you know, that I think I did enjoy three of my teachers at that school. They were really top class.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Last question. Ready?
Let's go, man.
Let's do it. Last question. Before the next question, Callum, tell me, you know, as a barber, tell me a moment or a situation that you're never going to forget, that's always going to have a special place in your heart for any reason.
I've had a couple, to be fair. One of the most memorable ones, you know, but I know that your channel is all about positivity, but this one, there was a gentleman that was not, you know, in a good place in life, and you know, openly expressed that he wanted to unalive himself. So that was really quite a deep, challenging moment. But by the end of it, we come out, you know, we left in a better place.
Wow.
So yeah, I think that's like the biggest one that comes up for me. Positive wise, I think there is like positivity to be taken away from that because he's still alive.
Totally.
I've
No,
got his hair since, so we're all good.
of course, no, I totally understand, Callum. The channel here is, of course, people, they are positive, but there are a lot of real stories as well. People, you know, sharing challenge moments. I think, you know, here is about be yourself, is about sharing stories. Sometimes people shared here stories that was very challenging, you know what I mean, story that was very heavy as well. But as you said, there's always a positive thing as well, because, you know, going through those moments, you know, you appreciate as well, because sometimes someone just needs to talk to you, and sometimes you are in the right place to listen to those people. And I think, I'm sure this gentleman, he's appreciates, you know, for you just to be there, listen to him. I think it's a great point for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Okay, thanks for sharing. Last question is, who is your biggest idol, and what have you learned with this person?
Oh, that's a tough question. Who's my biggest idol? I would have to say Jesus. I would have to say Jesus is my biggest idol. Some of the
Hmm.
scriptures that he's written and some of the just some of the rules to live by are really inspiring, and I think a lot of people
Wow.
can take something away from that.
And what's the most meaningful lesson you've learned from Jesus?
It's not an eye for an eye. That's one of them, you know. That's not like anything taken from scripture, but you know, a lot of people think, you know, if someone does you wrong, match that energy, and I don't believe it is match the energy. You know, you need to, you know, take yourself to the next level, rise above it. You know, hold space for love and forgiveness, and try and understand. You know, it's not
Totally.
always easy. Absolutely, it's not easy, but you know, it's what's best.
Totally. I agree. All right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Okay. One word for money.
Money,
Yeah.
money,
Okay. One word for family.
support,
Fear.
happiness,
Life.
excellent,
Love.
evil,
Sex.
good,
Religion.
faith,
Friendship.
disassociation,
Okay. Politics.
rubbish,
Desire.
love,
Success.
happiness,
Regret. Oh, sorry. Regret. No. Wish. Wish.
sorry,
Wish.
wish,
Yeah.
a genie,
Happiness.
love,
Okay. One word for Scotland.
Bonnie,
Say again?
Bonnie.
Why, Bonnie?
One word for Scotland.
Yeah.
Bonnie, Scotland.
Oh, I
Beautiful.
see. I got it. And the last one now, barber. One word.
Me.
Of course, of course. Right. Tell me, so far, you know, as I can see the love that you have for your dogs. Yeah. Tell me something that you've learned from them so far. What they taught you.
Patience.
Wow.
I would say that ultimately the biggest thing is patience. And to be happy in the small moments, you know, dogs are just happy over the smallest of things, you know. So it's like find happiness in the small things. Be grateful for the small things.
You know what, Callum? I just remember now you saying that during the COVID, I remember, you know, everyone was feeling anxious, was a very dark place to be. And I remember I was going for a run in the park, and I remember like seeing the dogs like jumping around, their owners like going around. And for me, it was like very helpful for me because I felt so good watching those dogs, just like having the moment, like a really happy moment. And I had the interview here with a lovely man from LA, Los Angeles, and he said something very interesting that I never thought about. He said, William, do you know why dogs, they are always happy and cheerful? And he said, because dogs just live in the present. They don't live in the past, they don't live in the future. They just live in the present. That's why they are always like happy. They are always full of great energy. And I never thought about that. And I was like, my God, that's so true. That's so true. That's why they have this great energy, because they just live in the moment. That's something that I think we learn with dogs, just to be present in the moment. Forget about the past, the future will come, you know what I mean? Live the moment. I think it's a great lesson that you can learn, you know, through the dogs, having dogs, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, training them, you've got to be present. You know, you've got to be able to read that body language, and you know, so you've got to be present with them.
Totally. And as you said, it's a discipline as well, because you know what I mean? Patience. You need to have a discipline for that.
Oh
You know,
yeah, for sure. And consistency as well. You need to be really consistent, you know, to get that discipline.
and how they came into your life, both of them.
So Asha came into my life. I was just feeling. I would go out on big walks and stuff and go up hills, and I always thought it would just be nice to have a dog. So I went and found Asha. She was at a really good price, you know, because a lot of dogs are like ridiculous prices. So found her. She was the last one.
Oh,
Her name's Asha, which means hope in an ancient language called Sanskrit, which I didn't quite know at the time. And Blue, I got a message asking if I could rehome Blue, and I said yeah.
oh
So
my,
Blue, she come over from Romania. She was with her family for a week.
oh well,
The
wow.
family found out they were having a baby. They didn't want her anymore, so they were looking for a new home, and I got a message. And yeah, we've been best friends since.
Oh, that's sweet. I love this story. Amazing. Let's play now, Callum, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, you can ask me a question now, Callum.
Okay, what's one life experience that completely changed your perspective on positivity, and how do you apply that lesson in your daily life?
My God, what a great question. Oh, wow, what a great question. You put me in the spot, Callum. I love when people put me in the spot. You made me think now. Life lesson that, I put like every day. Ah, okay. Right. It's something very simple, but I never forget this moment because it literally, I do that almost every day, or try to remember every day. I remember going to work once a few years ago, and there was this tube station that sometimes they will put some quotes there, they will leave some books there. And there was a quote there that's, for me, I never forget. It was something very simple. It said there, if you want to change your life, smile in the mirror every day in the morning. When you wake up, when you are getting ready, just smile smile to yourself, and you're gonna see a change in your life. Trust me. Since I saw that quote, I started doing that, and my God, it's so simple, but it changed a lot because I remember I was being more positive every day. I was feeling, being more approachable. And I remember that, oh my God, it's so simple. Because when you smile to yourself, look in the mirror, you are proving that you can be happy. You can, even though sometimes it's difficult, it's hard because our life is up and down. But when you smile every day in the morning, or to yourself in the mirror, it means that you are proving to yourself that you can be happy. And peace starts with a smile. So when I saw that, Callum, it's something so simple. Yeah, so simple.
Yeah.
But for me, it gave a big impact to my life because I realized that sometimes the simple things that you can do every day, it can give a big impact through your day, through your life, through your life overall. So yeah, that's a good question because I remember that simple phrase. I remember I said, my God, I need to see that. I need to see that to put in my daily life. So yeah, it's something that I do every day, and it helps me a lot, put me in a very good place for sure.
No, fantastic. That's great. I'm sure everyone can just do that. Is it just smile a little bit more and, like you say, first
Absolutely,
thing in the morning,
absolutely,
best way to
because
start the day.
totally, and it's something simple, but trust me, it makes a difference because when you look back, my God, you start seeing things that you never seen before, and I think that's a great way. It's so simple, and it's a smile, you smile in the face, in the mirror, you smile to yourself. It's a big start of your day for sure. Good question.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy the interview?
I did. Thank you. It was eye opening. That's for sure. Yeah.
Thanks again. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for being so kind and accepting my invitation. I saw your video on TikTok saying that was, you just start your social media and you see how people connect with us like out of nowhere. And I think it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing to see, people on social media, sharing their moments, their life, positivity, negativity as well. I think if the balance is, why not? And I think it's
Mhm.
great for people to be there. So carry on. Good luck on your journey and also in your career as well. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
I think wake up and smile and just be grateful for the day, and and even if you fancy it, try pray. give that a go. You know, it might work for you as well.
Amazing. Thanks again. Have a good night, and you keep in touch. Okay, it was a
Thank you.
pleasure.
You too, man. Take care. Yeah.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.